Hi there, and welcome to the Sunny Daze Podcast. I'm your host, Jolly, and today we've got some uplifting stories, some did you know, and more. So grab a cup of sunshine and let's get started. First up today, well, an oldie but a goodie. A heartwarming story about a young boy who faced hardships but found unexpected kindness. He was going door to door selling items to help pay for his schooling. One day he realized he'd only had a single dime left in his pocket and no food to eat. Determined but nervous, he decided to ask for a meal at the next house. When a kind young woman opened the door, he lost his nerve and instead asked for a quick drink of water. Seeing how hungrily he looked, she brought him a large glass of milk. He sipped it slowly and then asked, "How much do I owe you?" She smiled and replied, "You don't owe me anything. My mother taught us never to accept pay for kindness." Touched, the boy simply said, "Thank you," from the bottom of his heart. Years passed, and the young woman had fallen ill, gravely ill. Her local doctors were at a loss, so she was sent to the city for specialized care. A prominent physician named Dr. Howard Kelly was called in to consult on her case. When he learned her name of her and the name of her, when he learned the name of her hometown, he immediately visited her hospital room. He recognized her as the woman who once showed him kindness. Dr. Kelly devoted himself to treat her, ensuring she received the best care possible. Eventually, she recovered, but she worried about how she was ever going to pay the medical bills. When the final bill arrived, she hesitated to open it, fearing it would take a lifetime to repay. When she finally looked inside, she noticed a handwritten note, paid in full, with one glass of milk. It was signed Dr. Howard Kelly. Her eyes filled with tears as she realized the profound impact her simple act of kindness had had so long ago. This story does remind us that even small gestures can come back in the most unexpected and beautiful ways. And just who was that Dr. Kelly? Dr. Howard Kelly, born 1858, died 1943. He was a distinguished physician who was one of the four founding doctors of Johns Hopkins, the first medical research university in the United States. Amazing. And another story, a real life Rosie the Riveter, a living symbol of strength. For many, the iconic Rosie the Riveter image depicting a determined woman flexing her arm, representing the strength and perseverance of American workers during World War II. For Jennifer McCullen, however, that image feels deeply personal. Jennifer, who recently turned 100, once worked at a Burbank factory for Lockheed Aircraft, which later became part of the modern aerospace company Lockheed Martin. Like millions of women at this time, she stepped into the role traditionally held by men, joining the unprecedented movement of female factory workers who supported the war effort by building planes, ships, and other essential equipment. These women, often called Rosies, not only helped win the war, but also set the stage for a greater appearance of women in the workforce. At her 100th birthday celebration, Jennifer reflected on her experiences. Surrounded by loved ones at her assisted living community in Whittier, California, she expressed gratitude for her family and her husband, a World War II veteran who was also approaching 100. Together, they built a legacy of 3 children, 4 grandchildren, and a lifetime of adventures. Jennifer's granddaughter also shared a message from an organization dedicated to honoring the legacy of the wartime Rosies. The letter celebrated Jennifer's service on the home front, describing her as one of the many courageous women whose hard work helped secure victory for the Allies. As she looks ahead, Jennifer shows no signs of slowing down. As for what's next, the surprisingly centenarian in True said, "We can do it," fashion, saying, "Looking forward to my 150th." Her story serves as a reminder of the incredible impact these women had, not just on history, but on all the generations that have followed. And now, how about a few fun facts? and lighthearted facts about Valentine's Day. I know it was a couple of days ago, but after all, did you know that it's older than you may think? The origins of Valentine date back to ancient Rome, where a mid February festival called Lupercalia celebrated love, fertility, and the coming of spring. Over time, it evolved into the romantic holiday we know today. Interesting. And did you know a smart sweet to it? In the 19th century, the first mass produced Valentine's cards were created in the United States by Esther Howland. She's now known as the mother of the American Valentine. And chocolate? Well, Richard Cadbury from the famous Cadbury's Chocolate Company was one of the first to market chocolates in heart shaped boxes for Valentine's Day, and that was in 1860. That marketing move set the stage for chocolate to become a quintessential Valentine's gift. And did you know it's not just for couples? In Finland, February 14th is celebrated as Friends Day, where people focus on showing appreciation to friends, not just romantic partners. Oh, I kind of like that idea. Friends Day, Galentine's. Valentine's, there's so many ways to say I love you. Millions of roses. Did you know each year over 250 million roses are grown specifically for Valentine's Day? Red roses symbolizing love and passion, which is why they remain a top pick for the holiday. Well, there's some interesting information. And now in theaters. Let's see what's happening this month in theaters. We've got Dogman, an animated adventure based on Dave Pilkey's popular children's book series. It follows the story of a police officer who, after a freak accident, becomes part dog and part human, with the loyalty of a canine and the smarts of a seasoned officer. Oh, Dogman must tackle ridiculous villains, solve wacky mysteries, and navigate the challenges of being the unique superhero. This film captures humor, heart, and over the top of the original books, making it a delight for fans and newcomers alike. And then there's Love Hurts, a romantic drama that delves into the complexities of relationships. The story centers on a couple whose seemingly perfect partnership is tested by personal ambition, misunderstandings, and life's unpredictable twist. As they navigate their differences, they learn that love comes with its share of pain, but offers the opportunity for growth and deeper connection. This film examines the frailty yet resilient nature of the human heart, offering an emotional journey of love, loss, and reconciliation. And then there's Flight Risk. It's a high stakes action thriller about a commercial pilot who is thrust into a life or death situation mid flight. When a dangerous criminal forces the plane off its course, the pilot must outwit their captor while keeping the passengers safe. With intense aerial sequences, heart pounding suspense, and a race against time, Flight Risk explores themes of bravery, resourcefulness, and the lengths one will go to protect others. And then there is Mufasa, the Lion King, which delves into the untold origin story of one of Disney's most iconic characters. Set before the adventures of the Lion King, the film follows Mufasa's journey from a humble lion cub to the wise and courageous king we know. It explores the challenges he faced growing up, the relationships that shaped him, and the life's lessons that ultimately prepared him to lead the Pride Lands. With stunning animation, a rich narrative, and a mix of new and familiar characters, Mufasa, the Lion King, offers a deep understanding of the lion who would become a legendary ruler. That's a little bit of something for everybody. Happy viewing. And in our Sunny Days music, well, as of February the 10th, here are some of the songs dominating the radio airways. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT by Rose and Bruno Mars. Mr. Mars has been busy, hasn't he? 4x4 by Travis Scott. Luther by Kendrick Lamar and Sass, and a bar song by Tipsy. Sounds like some good listening going on out there. And now for a jolly chat story we'll call Sight Unseen. Hilga and her German Shepherd Rustic shared a bond that was more than just a girl and her dog. On an overcast morning, Hilda decided to explore the woods near her hometown. Seeking adventure among the whispering woods, Rustic followed eagerly, his keen senses always one step ahead. After wandering for hours, they came upon a mysterious archway, standing alone in the clearing. A faint shimmer hung around it. Without hesitation, Rustic stepped forward and Hilda followed. The moment they passed through, the world changed. A forest grew brighter, and golden light flickering through immense spiraling trees. The air shimmered as the leaves themselves were alive. Creatures unlike any Hilda had ever seen emerged. Foxes with fur like the night sky, glowing deer, and talking owls that watched them pass by. It was as though the forest itself had been waiting for them. Rustic led her to the heart of the magical world, a clearing where a silver tree stood, its branches laden with golden flowing fruits. A figure appeared, draped in twilight-colored robes, and spoke in a voice that seemed to echo through the glade. They explained that Hilda and Rustic had entered a place beyond the ordinary, guided by their courage and connection. Take one fruit, the figure said. It will always remind you of what you have discovered here. Hilda plucked a fruit, feeling its warmth in her hand. When she and Rustic stepped back through the arch, the golden world faded. The woods returned to their familiar calm, but Hilda felt different, braver, stronger, and more curious about the world. Rustic looked up at her with his wagging tail, as if to say, "This is only the beginning." The end. And now, as we come to a close of today's episode, let's remember that the stories we've shared, they serve as a reminder of the goodness and the kindness that surrounds us every day. Beauty is indeed in the eye of the beholder. So find your beauty, shine, and share it. Remember to spread love, joy, and positivity whenever and wherever you go. We'll see you next week for some more entertainment news, some fun facts, and some Did You Know. Until then, peace and love always, and have a wonderful week.